Welcome back to the garage. We're finally doing big stuff. All right, transmission's back home. It's down here on the floor. Converter's here. It's time to start putting stuff back together. And to get that beast off jack stands and all the stuff I've got piled up out of the back and cardboard off the roof. For long-time viewers, you know that seems to be a problem with this car. It collects cardboard. Anyways, and stuff. But, hey, trucks as race cars and, restorations, not so bad. You got built-in storage for your extra parts. Anyway, so we're going to start getting things filled back up. First thing to do is to put some ATF in the converter. Now, I was strongly told by my transmission builder, Bruce Coggins and Richard Fokema, to use Type F. So I got the good stuff from Summit, Mobile Type F ATF. Stuff's expensive at the moment. Turns out I probably could have gotten away with a little bit lesser name on the Type F, but it's really hard to find. Summit was about my best bet. Anyways, I'm going to pour some oil into the converter because you never want to start those things dry because there are all sorts of moving parts in there and you don't want to have those things run dry on startup. So we're going to do that, kind of get that fluid cushion in there, and then I got to find all my nuts and bolts. It's been almost a month since I pulled that transmission out, and I got to make sure I can find all the nuts and bolts, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to run to the hardware store at least once because I'm going to need some extra bits and pieces that have been misplaced. You put them in that place you're never going to forget, and you always forget them. That's my luck. Anyways, let's put some oil in the converter. Let's start this process going. All right, now I cannot promise David Freeberger level of, bam, get it in on the first try. That's just, I'm not that good. Let's crack the top here. I was told that it could take a full quart. It could take less than a quart. I'm just going to be careful and, not fill it too darn full. There's all sorts of, parts in there that need fluid. Is that it? Goodness, keep in mind, that was full, and we're now like, I think I poured a cup into it. Well, it's going down. Taking its sweet time. This process could take a while. Time lapse. Okay, the converter is filling. The next thing I got to do to get this thing prepared, yes, I know the pan is not bolted down. I got to put the trans pan gasket on it. I'll probably do that after it's in the car when it's easier to do that kind of thing. Anyways, the trans cooler fittings, those little guys, they're a straight thread. They're just setting in there with a copper gasket. I'm going to put those in by hand. I'm not going to use my favorite tool in the whole wide world, my electric ratchet, because I want to feel these and make sure that they go in correctly and not just, strip them out. I don't want to be taking that kind of a risk about now. So, to the tightening motion. We interrupt this time lapse for a breaking announcement. So, as it turns out, these threaded bosses, see if we can get it focused there, they're not threaded deep enough from the factory. The factory uses a brass flare fitting and just kind of taps it and crams them in there. We're using one of these 6AN adapters. Now, this is a unique thread. You've heard of NPT, National Pipe Taper. This is NPS, National Pipe Straight. The problem I'm running into is that the threaded tapped depth here is not long enough to accommodate these threads. So what I have to do is shorten this up. I'm going to chuck it up on a lathe and turn those down here real soon. But I had to do some digging to come up with a number that makes sense to shorten this up to. NPT threads have a minimum perfect thread engagement of 290 thousandths. I'm going to apply a similar logic to this NPS adapter, and I'm going to shorten up the distance from the copper washer to the bottom of the threads to about 300 thousandths. I'm not super desperate, so I'm going to take it down and chuck it up on my lathe and do that. Which I wish I had my lathe here, but that's down at the other Snow Family Racing garage that hides the 64 Buick Special of my dad's. So we're at a stalling point here, but I've got a good fix. We'll tackle this tomorrow and get this squared up. Alright, it's a new day. It's hot outside. We're tickling upper 90s today. Got the transmission cooler fitting thing figured out. You probably saw that on a previous video I just did. Anyways, I'm going to get the garage readjusted a little bit, get some bikes moved around, and I'm going to start getting the transmission put in. Big time lapse time. Here we go. So, welcome to the underside of the El Camino. I've pretty well got everything on the bottom side done. There's a drive shaft hiding in there. There he is. Exhaust is hooked up. Drive shaft is hooked up. Trans mount's bolted. Both ends of the cross member are tight. The trans cooler lines are run. They're over here somewhere. Temperature fitting is done. Shifter's done. Did I say that already? I don't know. I've been at this a while. I'm kind of tired. Yeah, I've got everything on the bottom bolted up. And I think I'm going to call it a night. As you can see, it is no longer light out there. It's getting dark. I've been at this all day. So, thanks for watching. I appreciate your support. We'll get back at this next time, and we'll get this finished up with everything on the top side, get the trans filled up, get it started, get the trans full, all those good things. Thanks for watching, guys.